I'm a simple man on a simple mission. Platinum every God of War game. And we already have platinum the first 4 games on the chronology. So leave a like to get a bronze, comment to get a silver, share the video to get a gold, and subscribe to get a platinum. Cause this is...
You used to call me on my cell phone.
So we start the game and got difficult. There is no trophy for it, but why not, right? It's funnier this way. 1 year has passed, and Kratos is watching over his Spartan soldiers invading the city of Rhodes, asking for his support. Athena tries to stop Kratos since he's taking the God of War thing a little too far. Invading cities all over Greece doesn't sit well with the gods, you know? Kratos doesn't care about what the gods have to say, so he jumps right into the city of Rhodes and starts destroying everything, when a white eagle appears and attacks him, making him human-sized again, and also gives life to the Colossus of Rhodes to stop Kratos on his conquest. So little Kratos still vanishes the army of Rhodes and goes to the fight with the Colossus. He launches a rock to it and then he launches himself, damaging one of the Colossus' eyes, to then being thrown off into some kind of bathing sauna place, where we find this game,
Devil's Tango minigame.
Once we finish it... What? There's no trophy? What kind of game is this? Anyway, we advance and follow the fight to appear, where we use some water mines to stop his hands and attack him. Then again, that results in Kratos getting thrown off.
I've been roaming around, always looking down at all I see.
We land in a temple, where by using this pillar we can access these 3 chests, where in the middle one we're going to find the first urn out of 4 we can find in the game. We get out and Zeus talks to Kratos. He denies any help, but still, Zeus offers him the Blade of Olympus to aid him on this battle, the very same blade that Zeus used to defeat the Titans. But here's the thing, in order to use the sword, Kratos has to transfer all his godly powers to it. Oh no, Zeus, we know what you're doing, you're not slick, you ain't fooling Kratos with that one. Oh wait, Kratos, what are you doing? Oh no, I can't watch. I can't watch. Oh no man, it's the tree thing all over again. The oldest scam in the book. So well, Kratos gives all his power to the sword and now he wields it. Using the sword, we get inside the Colossus. We destroy him from the inside and once he's done, we flee out of it. Kratos gets a bit too cocky and without realizing it, the hand of the Colossus lands on him. Normally this wouldn't have hurted him, but since he gave all his power to the sword, the slam of the Colossus almost killed him. He tries to reach the sword again, but the eagle appears. And although at the beginning he thought that the eagle was Athena plotting against him,
Fire against me!
turns out that it was Zeus all along. Kratos asks why will he betray him like this. Zeus then says that Kratos already killed a god, and he won't allow him to do the same with him. Now if you've been paying attention, this sounds weird because the gods test Kratos to kill Ares, but now that he did, Zeus fears him. But don't worry, this will make sense later. Without hesitation, Zeus stabs Kratos with the sword to then release the power that kills all the Spartan and Rhodes soldiers.
You will pay for this, Zeus. Be certain of that.
Kratos dies and the hands of Hades start pulling him to the underworld, where he has flashbacks of his whole life. But on his way, he is suddenly saved by a titan, Gaia, the mother of Earth, who reveals to Kratos that she has been with him his whole life, which is true because she is the narrator in all the previous games. Anyway, Gaia promises to help Kratos to defeat Zeus and the Olympus, by showing him the way to the Sisters of Fate, who will give him the power to go back in time to stop Zeus from killing him. After this, Kratos is healed and as he did before, starts his escape from the Hades. Once we escape, we get the trophy Resurrection. Kratos talks to the only Spartan survivor and tasks him to go to Sparta and prepare for battle. While the Spartan goes on his way, Pegasus appears, sent by Gaia to aid Kratos on his journey. So we go up the horsey and fly away. Kratos demands Pegasus to take him to the Olympus to defeat Zeus, but Gaia reminds him that he is no longer a god and has no chance against Zeus, and reminds him that he must find the Sisters of Fate to regain his godly powers. So Gaia sends us to a mountain, where one of the Titans is a prisoner. We reach the Titan and end up crashing into his hand, leaving Pegasus stuck under it, and we get the trophy Dead from Above 2009 for killing the Dark Rider in the cutscene. We'll leave Pegasus there for now, and we begin our ascension through the mountain, where we meet Prometheus, you know, the guy who gave fire to humanity and stuff, who Zeus condemned to be eaten alive for all eternity. So he asks the ghost of Sparta for help. Attempting to free him, Prometheus ends up hanging with his chains, and tells Kratos that he needs to burn in the fire of Olympus in order to die, so we left him there for now, and we keep going on our way. We reach Typhon's cavern, who constantly tries to blow us away. We make a bridge to his head and attack his eye, from where we take a bow and receive the trophy Breaking Wind. With the bow we can now free Prometheus and let him burn in the fire of Olympus, which fills Kratos with the power of the Titans, giving us the Rage of the Titans, and the trophy Big, Tough, Buff and Rough. right after I upgraded the Blaze of Athena and received the trophy Hidden Your Stride for upgrading one piece of equipment. With the Rage of the Titans, we go back to Pegasus and use the power to lift the Titan's hand in order to free the poor little horse. Once again, we ride Pegasus out of the mountain and begin our way to the island of the Sisters of Fate. After one of the coolest battles in the game, we fall into the island into the Temple of Lachesis. Kratos asks Gaia why is she helping him to defeat Zeus, so she explains the story of Zeus. As we know, Kronos is the father of Zeus, and there was a prophecy that said that his children would rise against the Titan, so Kronos ate them all. But when it was time to eat Zeus, his mother sent baby Zeus with an eagle to a safe place. Zeus' mother picked a rock and put it in a pedestal as the Titan approached, and holy moly, that is a hairy chest. They don't make it like that anymore, I'll tell you what. Kronos fell for the trick and ate the rock like candy. Turns out that Zeus ended up in Gaia, who kept him safe until he grew up, wanting to free his brothers from the belly of the Titan. And for the sins of Kronos, all the Titans paid the price. After getting out of the Temple of Lachesis, we reach the Steeds of Time, where in order to enter inside them we need the Horsekeeper's key. In one of the steeds, we find the Horsekeeper himself, Theseus, who wants to try his luck with the Ghost of Sparta. So after fighting for a while, we brutally kill him and obtain the key, alongside with the trophy Boss Batch 1. With the key, we get inside one of the steeds, where we talk with Kronos, that to help the Titans gives Kratos the power Kronos Rage, which gives us the trophy Blue Balls. We activate the 4 Steeds of Time, and after wiping them, we get the trophy Whip It Good. The stallions start to move, pushing the chains that will close the distance to the Temple of the Sisters. Now we go back to the Temple of Lachesis, where we obtain the Amulet of the Fates, which will allow us to stop time. Doing so, we reach the statue of one of the sisters, who communicates with Kratos, telling him that only death awaits him. But you know Kratos, my boy doesn't care at all. Right behind the statue, we reach Destiny's Atrium, where an energy wall blocks our way, so by completing a puzzle, we open it. We dip ourselves into the Bog of the Forgotten, where we see a special chest that we must not forget. But before we can reach it, someone attacks Kratos, so he attaches the blades to his horse and follows him deep into the bog. And who is this mysterious enemy? The very same barbarian general who Kratos killed with the help of Ares. So the fight begins, and after passing multiple phases, Kratos steals the barbarian hammer and crushes his head. We keep dipping ourselves in the bog and eventually we reach the Temple of just wait a second.
Uriah.
Yes, that. Eventually we reach the Temple of you know what, I'll just call it the Temple of Shirley. Anyway, we can't go into the temple just yet, so by using the key we find here, we go into the back of the temple, reaching the Ruins of the Forgotten, where we have the first appearance of the Beast Lord, a tiny creature who summons and controls a Cyclops Berserker. The important thing is that when we kill the Cyclops with the quick time event, we will rip off their eyes, adding to a counter of 20, necessary for the Eye Sword trophy. Try to collect as much as possible, but don't worry too much about it, we will actually get the trophy once we finish the game. Into the ruins we face multiple puzzles, with the objective of taking this piece of carved stone, which alongside with other one that we already had, we are going to use them to push down this Tholi. Yes, this structure is called a Tholi. You don't believe me? Well, look it up. Anyway, this opens our way to go further, and also gives us the trophy Lift with Your Knees. Inside the mountain we find another soldier who asks us to save his companion. So Kratos does what anyone will do in this situation. He uses the still living soldier to stop a mechanism. Yes, thumbs up for Kratos. We find his companion being eaten by a Cerberus, and once we kill him we get the best piece of equipment in the game, the Golden Fleece, which also gives us the trophy Shiner. The Golden Fleece allows us to parry projectiles and the stone look of the Gargons. With this new power we go back to the temple, but before going inside we are going to backtrack all of the ruins of the Forgotten until we reach the last part, where we can use the Golden Fleece to get various chests, one of them including another urn. And also here I found the last Gorgon Eye, which gave me the trophy I Can't Believe It. Now we go back to the temple and we parry the door. Once we destroy it we can go in and receive the trophy Shine King. Inside the temple, we are immediately faced by enemies, and later on, a soldier breaks the elevator we have to take in order to stop Kratos from advancing. After finding our way to advance, we reach the same soldier turned into stone. We read the book and we are immediately attacked by the Queen Shirley. A lot of parrying and various attempts later, I beheaded the queen and obtained the head of Shirley, and also the trophy Rock Their World. A while after getting out of the temple, we reach the Destiny's Atrium again, but before continuing we must go back into the bog, where now we can take the first Uber chest out of 3. That will give us a large amount of red orbs. Back in the Destiny's Atrium we can now parry the projectile of this wall, to be able to advance to a new area where we have another one of these energy walls that we must destroy. After walking around the temple and solving a lot of puzzles, we meet Perseus, who is also looking for the Sisters of Fate, and somehow he convinces himself to fight Kratos. What a terrible mistake. Once Kratos absolutely erases him from existence, we get the Shield of Perseus, and also the trophy Boss Batch 2. We put the shield on a statue that will reflect one of the eyes of the sisters, and we parry the other one, breaking the big statue and therefore the energy wall. After this, if we take this statue and place it here, we can stop time to reach this door, where we are going to find another chest with an urn. Now we take the statue back into its place and we rotate it to place it here, so we can use it to stop time from the other side and advance to the crossing of the lowlands, where we have a quick time event section that once completed gives us the trophy Swinger. Afterwards, we reach the Great Chasm, where we walk the last bridge to reach the Sisters of Fate. But, and this is a big but, Icarus appears, totally crazy, totally out of his mind, and acting like Gollum over here, saying that it's his destiny to cross the chasm. So Kratos gets tired of this and tells him that he's going to use his wings to get across. So Icarus attacks him and they both fall from the bridge. While falling, Kratos rips off his wings and Icarus falls to the void while Kratos lands on the underworld, where Atlas is prisoner holding the world on his shoulders. You remember Atlas, right? The guy who we chained to the world? Yeah, that one. And we get a trophy learning to fly. We get inside Atlas and by using one of his bones we reach this ledge where I found the last Phoenix feather and received the trophy Go Make a Pillow. Later on, we fight a stone minotaur, and once we kill it, we get the trophy Rock Hard. After that, we climb through a roof, and by breaking this stone and going inside the hole that it opened, we'll find another one of the urns. Moving on, I got the weirdest of bugs, getting teleported out of nowhere, skipping some terrain. Sadly, the bug ended up there, cause when trying to advance, the screen will simply go black. Anyway, we break the chains of Atlas. And then he takes Kratos between his fingers. He recognizes him, and they like, hey, what you been up to? Oh, you know, holding the world and stuff, thanks to you, remember? Oh yeah, so hey, I know you probably want to kill me, but you see, I'm on a mission to kill Zeus. Oh, for real? Well, in that case, off you go. Atlas gives us his power and we get the trophy Shaky Ground. We finally reach the Palace of the Fates, where we are immediately faced with multiple hordes of enemies. After a few minutes of battle, we kill them all and get a trophy for it. We make our way into the palace and reach the auditorium, where we must read a book. But since we can't understand what he says, we need a translator. We take him from some kind of temple, and after we defend him from a lot of enemies, Kratos forces him to read the book. Kind of like my mother teaching me math. How much is 7 times 7? I don't know. After that, he finally reads it. A sacrifice must be made. Yeah, you guessed it, the translator is the sacrifice. A giant bird in the distance starts opening his wings. Meanwhile, one of the sisters makes an appearance and congratulates Kratos for making it this far. Following, we get the key of the ram that we'll use to keep advancing through the temple. We reach the Garden of the Gods, where we find a puzzle where we must melt the eyes of the door. Once we do it, we get a trophy. Right after, we are faced by multiple of these flying little shits, which makes a perfect opportunity to obtain the trophy Stoner by turning 30 enemies into stone. If you don't get it here, just keep turning into stone and shatter every enemy you face. After quite some fighting, we reach another one of the books, but the translator that we need throws himself down to avoid being sacrificed. But with a conveniently placed painting, we can go some seconds back in time, but before reaching the old man, we will stop time and backtrack a bit, until we find the second Uber chest, that will increase our health bar permanently. Now we do take the old man and force him to read the book. Once he does, the giant bird of the temple fully opens his wings, giving us a trophy Spread Them. The Sisters appears again and tells Kratos that in order to reach the Sisters, he must recover the ashes of the Phoenix. While we advance through the temple, we are going to reach this section where we must fly around the pillar with giant spines. Well, just down the floor we're going to find the last Uber chest, that will upgrade our magic bar, and we'll receive a trophy for taking the 3 Uber chests in the game. Also, if we break the wall beside the chest, we can retract the spines, making this section a lot easier. We reach the Phoenix Chamber, where we must retrieve the ashes and resurrect the Phoenix. In the chamber, we find the Hail of Boreas, that we'll use later. Now we retrieve the ashes and resurrect the Phoenix that will fly out of the chamber. We go back out and use the Hail of Boreas to open this door. Out we go and we use the big horn which will make the Phoenix fly away, and we receive the trophy Rise and Shine. Trying to go out, a strange warrior tries to stop Kratos. This warrior turns out to be the last Spartan soldier from the beginning. And what is he doing here, you must be asking? Well, it turns out that since Kratos supposedly died, Zeus made a little visit to Sparta, and he destroyed the city. So the last soldier was trying to reach the Sisters in order to save Sparta from Zeus' attack. The soldier dies, giving another reason to Kratos to hate Zeus even more. In the meantime, the Kraken appears and takes Kratos. While being held, Kratos blacks out and has a vision where his wife appears.
I am so sorry, my love. Can you ever forgive me?
But turns out that it was just Gaia again, who gives him an inspirational speech, upgrading the Rage of the Titans. We defeat the Kraken and go straight to the Phoenix. Kratos tames it, and they fly to the Temple of the Fates. Inside the temple we find the Throne of Lachesis, where one of the sisters appears. She tells Kratos that no one can change his fate, except for them. So Kratos doubles down and challenges the sisters. So the fight starts and it goes pretty easy. your typical evade, parry and attack kind of fight. In the second phase, the sisters split up and one of them takes Kratos to the past through a mirror that works as a portal. Now the battleground is the Sword of Athena, while Kratos was fighting Ares. The sister threatens Kratos to destroy the Sword of Athena, cause you know, it's the sword we used in the first game to defeat Ares. So if there's no sword, Kratos can't win. So basically we have to defend the sword, which is pretty easy even in hard difficulty. So after defeating the sister, the Kratos from the past takes the sword and she gets trapped inside the mirror. The fight with the other sister continues, with the addition that now the other sister comes out of the mirror to attack. But never mind that, we end up defeating them both. Now it's time for the scariest sisters of them all, Yo Mama. On our way to the sister, we must fight through a lot of enemies, and in order to get a trophy 15-minute fight scene, we must reach the end in less than 10 minutes, so I strongly recommend to make a save before attempting this. Now while in the fight, I found that this is a pretty good moment to reach a 500 hit combo, so once I reached the 500, I got a trophy supersized. After quite a few deaths, I finally got to the end and got the trophy that I mentioned before. We enter the Loom Chamber, which is a giant puzzle that ends face to face with Clotho, the third sister, who we killed pretty easily and get a trophy boss badge 3. Now we go to the mirror that was on top of Clotho, we pull a lever and using the threads of destiny we searched for the moment where Zeus kills Kratos. We enter the mirror and appear at that exact moment. Zeus thinks that the sisters aided Kratos, but he reveals that he has killed them all. So they take the fight to somewhere in the sky, and the final battle begins. So Zeus gets all giant and shit, and after we beat the hell out of his knuckles, we stab his hand with a sword of normalizing sizes, and the fight continues. He steals the sword from us, and after some more beating, we stab him a few times and throw a rock at him. Like that will make any damage to the god of thunder. Anyway, he gets all big for the last time, and Kratos tricks him into thinking that he will surrender and will accept death. And like that, Kratos dies. On the contrary, Kratos lives, and he parries the sword like a madman and beats the shit out of Zeus, finally stabbing him with the sword of stomach stabbing. Athena then appears to save Zeus, and while they wrestle, we get the trophy Daddy Issues. Zeus keeps trash talking, and when Kratos tries to stab him again, Athena gets in the way and ends up being stabbed instead. Kratos asks why she defends Zeus so much, since he only wants to kill him. She says that fear drives Zeus to do all this shit, like the fear that took Kronos to eat all his sons. Then she reveals that Kratos is Zeus' son, and he seems surprised, although his mother already told him that back in Ghost of Sparta. Well, just a writing mistake. But the writers of Ghost of Sparta should have known better. Anyway, he doesn't care about any of this and he swears war to all the gods and the Olympus. Athena vanishes in a big explosion and we go back to the loom, but this time Kratos picks the Great War of the Titans. So we enter the mirror again and Kratos appears in the middle of the war, where Gaia approaches him and tells him that she's been waiting for him. And just before Zeus destroys all the Titans in the past, Kratos teleports all of them to the present to fight the Olympians together. The gods assemble for the fight, as the Titans climb to the Olympus with Kratos on their side. And like that, we finish the game. Once we finish the credits, we get the trophy The End Begins. Now, for the trophy Bleeding Thumbs, we must complete all the challenges of the Titans. There are only 7 of them. Once again, most of them are easy and fair. One of the challenges I got problems with was defending the translator, that apart from looking after his life, we have to move him from place to place once in a while. But with a few tries I finally got it. Also, while doing this challenge I made the last upgrade to the hammer and got the trophy Blowing Your Wad. Another one of the challenges that can be a pain in the ass is the last one, where we must not get hit. What I recommend to do is to kill as fast as possible the High Priest. Only 2 spawn, but they can be a huge pain in the ass. Once we finish the last enemy, we get a trophy. The trophy field the urn is very simple. We only need to have found 2 urns in the game. Then we can start a bonus play in any difficulty. And once we start the game, we have to activate at least 2 urns. And just like that, we get the trophy. For the trophy Eye Soar, we have to go back to the first challenge. As you can see, every time we take the eye of the Cyclops, it adds up to the counter. So we just have to repeat it until we get to 20. In the guide, it's recommended to save the game after each eye. But I didn't do it and still got the trophy. And therefore, the platinum.
It was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
The only way I can describe this game is sequel. It's a straight S tier. No doubt in my mind, the best one so far. This is like the Spider-Man 2 of the God of War games, the Shrek 2 of the God of War games, the Dark Souls 2, well, not that one actually, but you get the point. This game is just awesome, and I'm particularly in love with the level design and the art direction overall. And I want to clarify that my opinion is not biased by nostalgia. This is actually the first time I complete this game. I didn't even have a PS2 as a kid, and only got to play God of War 1 on emulators, and that is it. Congratulations, you have reached the end of the video, and you know what to do. Share it with your friends, and leave a like and subscribe if you want to support me. Also, I love to read the comment section, so if you want, you can leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.